Hello everyone, welcome back to Alka Space. This is Dr. Alka Arora and today I am going to talk about anxiety. Anxiety, a big, heavy, huge term. But what exactly anxiety is? Anxiety is actually an unpleasant feeling. Worriedness about normal things in routine, about the things which are actually unnecessary and necessary both. And when we talk about growth and development of a child, anxiety is just a normal part of it. It starts with separation. When a new mother rejoins her job, a child cries. Then when the child goes to school, he or she starts going to school, the separation exists, and actually anxiety begins with separation in the beginning, and gradually when the child grows up, certain kinds of fears develop, like fear of dogs, lizards, cockroaches, monsters, devils, and just like that. And subsequently in later years this takes the form of worriedness, worrying over small things like meal time, sleeping, eating, homework, school, and adding to it peer acceptance, peer pressure, pressure of performance in academics, performance in sports, musics, and all this. And when this anxiety goes to another level, then it results in stomach aches, frequent urge to pass the stool, headaches, sleeplessness, eating less or eating more, that means an unstable appetite. So this is a part of growth, this is a normal part of growth. But if this anxiety persists longer, or if it becomes a routine job, like it occurs every other day or every other hour, then this is a matter of concern. We as parents and teachers need to take this matter very, very seriously. If this anxiety, if this behavior occurs frequently and becomes a part of routine of a child, anxiety can lead to a damaged self-esteem and low level of confidence, which in turn hinders the performance of the child. Now let's talk about causes of anxiety. What actually is responsible for anxiety among children? First is, it may be genetic. This habit of being anxious is sometimes inherited from parents. It is in the genes only. Secondly, if there is serious illness or loss of somebody very close in the family or friend circle. Thirdly, if the parents are overprotective, over concerned. Fourth, if the child is in the company of anxious peers, the friends are like this only, the neighbors are like this only, or the company of the child is like this at home or at school, in neighborhood, every year. Kids are upset most of the time when they are anxious and they don't feel like doing anything. Basically what happens is, when we are anxious, it is due to the hormonal imbalance. When we get anxious, when we get excited, the hormone, the chemical substance known as adrenaline or cortisol are released, and there occurs a fight or flight response inside our body. So this means that our body becomes ready to fight against any kind of unpleasant thing happening around us. So hormones are responsible for controlling and coordinating everything, as I said earlier in my earlier videos. In this way, hormones regulate our body from inside when we are anxious, when we are afraid, when we are scared. What happens is, these hormones, they directly impact neurotransmitters. Now what are neurotransmitters? Neurotransmitters are chemical substances that are released inside our brain, in our nervous system, and this is triggered by transmission of nerve impulse from one nerve to another nerve. I have made a complete video on this, how brain works and how these neurotransmitters work, how nerve impulse is transmitted from one neuron to another. Please go to the description box and find out that very video. You will get more idea of how control and coordination takes place inside our body. Now we are clear that what causes anxiousness, what are the reasons for anxiety among children. Now let's jump to what can be done, what we as parents and teachers can do to handle anxious child and handle ourselves when we are anxious, when we are overexcited. First is talk to your child. Talk to your child about the worries. Reassurance plays a vital role. Let your child know that he is not alone. Somebody is there with him to help him. And while talking, try to find out the solutions to the problem. This will help your child go through the difficult times a bit easier. Second is triggers. This is the biggest mistake we all do as parents and teachers. We always try to remove the triggers associated with anxiety. We always try to remove the things. We always try to take away the things that cause anxiety among children. For example, when a child is scared of colors, when a child is scared of water, we try to take our child away from that thing. Phobia is the term that is of a bit higher level. Feeling of fear is just fear. So when we are when we are removing the stimulants of anxiety, we are actually not making them we are not making our child strong. Instead, help your child learn to manage the stress. Help your child to manage the distress associated with anxiety. When we remove the things that causes anxiety, we are actually making them dormant. They are not removed. So it is better to help your child to be brave enough to face the situations. Do not overprotect your child. So my third suggestion is overprotecting and over concern. When the parents are overprotective, it hinders the performance of the child. Why don't we let our child learn? Let the child learn the skills. Let the child see the word. Let the child face the word. Then only he or she will learn not to be anxious over small things. Be a leader. Help your child manage the emotions. So my fourth suggestion is practice what you preach. Learn to manage your own stress. Learn to handle the triggers of anxiety on your own. When you are doing something, then your child you will follow that very thing. So let your child follow you on this. Be a leader. Let your child understand by observing that how we can manage stress without disturbing our mental peace, like managing stress calmly. Next suggestion is involve your child in some kind of activities like arts, painting, drawing, those activities which require time and concentration both. It is like a meditation as we are engrossed in that kind of activity. Suppose when we are drawing, when we are painting, when we are doing something that requires concentration, we get engrossed into it, we put ourselves fully into it, and it is like a meditation. And what meditation does? Meditation removes the fears, the phobias from our subconscious mind that are sitting there. So when the things are removed from the subconscious mind, automatically the phobias, the fears, the worries will always will go away automatically. Get your child involved in some kind of physical activities like sports, dance, where body movement is maximum. Because when the body moves, when we get involved in some kind of physical activities, the hormones level get stable. So when I talked about the imbalance of hormones inside the body, so with physical activities, with sports, with all these things, you can help your child balancing the hormones, balancing the level of these chemical substances inside the body. And yoga is the most suggested solution on this. Scientists have proved that when yoga actually calms our mind, calms our body, it stables all the physiological systems going inside our body. Next is, which I actually do, is reading. Reading is a powerful tool. Reading is a powerful cure when we are anxiety, because reading takes us to another world. We get engrossed in the words and we start imagining the things written inside the book, and we imagine those things in the real world. We create a kind of picture in our brain. So reading is also a kind of meditation that helps us removing anxiety. Helps us managing stress very calmly and patiently. Let your child observe the triggers himself. Help him in being stronger with each passing day. Anxiety is a normal part of development, but it can become a lifelong trait if not taken care of properly. And if it persists for a longer time, then it is advisable to seek the professional help. Maybe your child requires CBT, that is cognitive behavior therapy. It is a very well known treatment to handle anxiety, and it is used by most of the psychologists, psychiatrists around the world. And final suggestion: do not leave the responsibility of your child to the child's nanny or your house help. It is your responsibility. You are the primary caretaker of your child. Grandparents, parents are a support, and they are very, very, very necessary in a child's development. But as a parent, it is our duty to play the primary role, to hold the steering, so in order to have a harmonious growth of our child. If you have liked the video, please give a thumbs up, and do not forget to subscribe Alka Space, because I am always there to bring easiest solutions to your routine problems, and I'll help you to be more productive in what you do. Thank you and have a nice day. Bye bye.